again, are you familiar with cloud computing?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give examples of how you've used the cloud in your own personal life?
Yes. When I was in college and we were in an a cappella group, we distributed our music by just putting it on Dropbox, and then we could download it and look at it from wherever we were. We didn't have to print out a million copies.
Awesome. What is your experience with Google Drive specifically?
I don't have any.
Okay. What forms of technology have you used in your classroom? Have you implemented?
We just did a project where the students were asked to research a composer, and a lot of the students chose to do a PowerPoint as part of their presentation. And we could just put the PowerPoint right on Edmodo so that I could access it from my classroom and present it from there.
Cool. So since you just did a group project, what are your strategies for collaboration with technology?
We were in the computer lab to do this project, and if a student was working with a couple other students, the group would just be at a single computer working on that. Actually, some students had two computers. One was doing research and the other was making the PowerPoint, so they collaborated in that way.
Do you have any cost-effective strategies for group work in technology?
Well, Edmodo was a really good example of that because Edmodo is a free service. So is Dropbox. So anytime you can have students upload something to the internet and then access it from a different location, that is cost-effective.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with curriculum mapping?
Vaguely.
Are you familiar with curriculum mapping tools or any kind of guided technology?
No.
Do you have any idea of what curriculum mapping might be? Can you describe what you think it is?
Yes. Well, I think it has to do with teachers from different subject areas making their content overlap a little bit, so that what they're learning in math or science or social studies can relate to their other subjects, such as music, drama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How would you suggest collaborating with colleagues to create that integration? How do you suggest it working?
I would really just like to be able to see what is going on in the other classrooms so that I can inform my own content using that knowledge. For example, just this week when we were doing our presentations, one of the students was researching Charles Ives, who was a composer who wrote the Concord Sonatas, which is specifically about the Battle of Lexington and Concord during the American Revolution. And I started talking to my students about it a little bit, and they didn't seem to know what I was talking about. But then I mentioned the American Revolution, and they said that they weren't learning about that until next week. So I would have really loved to have that information ahead of time so that I could plan the Lexington and Concord talk in my class with when they were learning about the American Revolution and make it all relevant to them.
Exactly. So what would this look like if you could make it use of technology? Or what would you use? What resources?
A cloud resource would be a really good one. If teachers could just upload their lesson plans for the week onto Dropbox or whatever cloud technology you have, then I could see it from my classroom ahead of time and be able to know what's going on in their other classes, see if it applies to my class.
And is this strategy cost effective?
Yes, because it would cost nothing. Dropbox is, again, a free service. All it would take is a little bit of time on the teacher's part to upload the lesson plans that they've already made onto an internet source where everyone can access it. It only takes a couple of seconds.
Awesome. Thank you.